We've taken someone from a $375,000 single family pre-approval just by changing the property to a duplex and using that rental income to qualify them. We actually got them up to like $525,000.
How people are building wealth in the Sacramento area based on real estate, or even people just trying to get in the market. Maybe a multifamily home makes more sense than getting a single family home, as crazy as that sounds. Matt, how's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
This is interesting. I know, a new vibe, new set a little bit.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about the clients you've been kind of working with as far as in the Sacramento area. Like, what are the things that you're seeing, hearing? Like, what are their interests and what are making sense to them at this point?
Yeah, so we're going through a bunch of different scenarios. What makes the most sense? A lot of what we're talking about now is because a lot of current homeowners, let's say current homeowners, they have a low interest rate on their mortgage because they refinanced somewhere in the last 2 to 4 years, right? And so what we're able to do is show them what it looks like to convert their home into a primary, or convert their primary into a rental property, right? And then they go out and buy something else. Now, for their primary home, when they go out and buy something else, they can still utilize a low down payment loan option, right? 3.5%, 5% down. But because they have such a low interest rate on their current mortgage, they're going to cash flow on that property a lot faster than if they were to go out and try to find an investment property in the Sacramento area. So that's one strategy we're doing. The second strategy that we're doing is looking at 2 to 4 units as their first home purchase. So specifically first-time home buyers, we're looking at either a single-family house with an ADU, or we're looking at a 2 to 4 unit property where they can get rental income to help offset their mortgage payment on that new house.
Okay, so Matt, I get these questions all the time. Why invest in Sacramento? Why not go to Texas? Why not go to Florida? So why is Sacramento still a good bang for your buck and for people who are looking to grow their portfolios?
To me, it just comes down to growth, right? There's so much opportunity for growth. There's so much more land here than what you get in the rest of California, right? So we're seeing a lot more employers leaving the Bay Area and coming to Sacramento, which is also bringing in more residents. Also, it's centrally located, right? I mean, if you have a lifestyle for the outdoors, like you Tahoe, Napa, the Bay Area, all within an hour and a half. So it's just a central location. And then lastly, it's affordability, right? As everyone, what I've seen so far is just the price points and then the architecture style too. I mean, Sacramento's got everything from condos, old homes, new homes, townhouses, custom luxury homes as you push out towards the hills, right? So it just has a little bit of everything for everyone.
Okay, so let's say you're talking to an investor and they're like, look, we love Sacramento, interest rates are a little high for us, things aren't penciling. What's your pivot to that? What is that? Because I'm sure you get this all the time about people going, high interest rates, Sacramento doesn't pencil, I'm going to Arkansas. What does that look like?
The first thing is basically, there's a couple different things you can do, right? We're seeing a lot of stuff with like wholesalers, right? So finding properties that are in need of a bunch of repair and the owners wants to walk away from it. We're seeing wholesalers land a lot of deals for investors. We're seeing institutional money come in and they can pay cash, right? There's no interest rate involved. And I'd say lastly, to that like mom and pop investor, they're buying up, right? So they might take their whole portfolio of properties, sell it all off, and then look for something a lot bigger, push into the commercial space, maybe 5 units, maybe apartment buildings, maybe triple net, right, properties. So those are the 3 most common scenarios I'm seeing right now.
All right. So Matt, so someone would be looking at a single family home or a duplex for a property right now. What would you suggest?
For me personally, the first thing I would look at is a 2 to 4 unit property, right? So that's just like in hindsight, I wished I bought those 2 to 4 units earlier in life. So I would look at that and see what pencils and works for my lifestyle too, because some of them are going to have backyards, some of them are not. Some of them are going to have ample indoor space, some of them aren't. So it depends on your current lifestyle. If you want more space, then go single family house, right? But then long-term planning, I would try to find a single family house as my first starter home where you can convert that into a rental, right? The reason why you want to go primary to rental is you get a better interest rate on your loan, right? You get a better interest rate on your loan when it's owner occupied. So you're going to keep the expenses low. So when you go and rent it in the future, there's a better chance of it cash flowing for a higher amount than going into an investment property where you're paying more for the loan in the long run.
Okay, so one question I had actually was, what's the difference in interest rates for a second home and an investment property?
So when it's always your primary property, you're going to get the better interest rate. Then this next classification is second home. Second home, you want to think more of vacation rental, and then investment property. In the last year, the government actually changed it. In 2024, the second home interest rate and the investment property interest rate are the same, right? So it makes no difference. In my opinion, you're better off making it an investment property because then you get to use the potential rental income to help you qualify for the mortgage if you can't float the entire payment.
All right.
So that's just a little bit of strategy. So I like making it your primary first, then converting it 2 years, 3 years down the road. Once you've, fixed it up, stabilized it, you know what it's going to rent for, you know it's going to cash flow. But if you're looking for a true investment property or a second home, I would just go with an investment property loan.
Okay, Matt, if a buyer comes up to us and basically is looking for their first 2 to 4 unit property, what does that conversation look like? How would you assess if that's a good move for them?
I mean, the first thing I would do is really put them through our loan process, right? So we have a discovery call, 10, 15 minutes, find out what they're looking to do, where they're looking to live, see if those properties even exist, right? Because in some areas, 2 to 4 units aren't there. So we have to pivot. From there, we look at what they can afford, right? If they can afford it on their own without rental income supplementing that payment, then we'll qualify them for that and give them, the traditional loan options, FHA, conventional, things like that. From there, if they need the rental income to qualify, this is where it goes a little bit deeper, right? We're going to look at Rent-A-Meter, right? That is where we start with rental comps. If there's nothing there, we'll go to Craigslist or another site like Zumper. All these sites give us rental comps. So we'll get a good idea of what the property will rent for. Now, for the loan side, we get to use 75% of gross rents to help them qualify, right? So we get to add that income back into their loan application. And from there, we present the numbers and say, hey, can you afford this payment? Yes. If not, let's look at adding rental income to qualify, right? And it's been amazing. We've taken someone from a $375,000 single family pre-approval just by changing the property to a duplex and using that rental income to qualify them. We actually got them up to like $525,000. So again, just changing property type, same loan type, but because we get to use the rental income to qualify, they can then afford to purchase a bigger property.
All right, so Matt, tell us a little bit about you, how you help people, how actually your journey to get where you are right now.
I'd say 12 years ago, I started in real estate. I started with a multifamily firm, analyzing properties for like senior brokers, right? I spent 2 years there. Then I got introduced to financing. I knew nothing about it while I was in real estate, and I was super interested. Like, this can't hurt me. Learning the finance side of the real estate business can't hurt me. So I went into mortgages and really haven't looked back over the last 10 years. Because of the affordability issue we're having here in California, I've kind of mixed the two in the last 2 years, right? I'm mixing the multifamily 2 to 4 unit property space, single family with ADU, right? Trying to find rental income into consultations with my first-time home buyers to show them like how we can make it more affordable for them to make that first purchase. So I'm currently with a company called Vibe Mortgage, and basically I'm in a mortgage advisor for them, and I've been there for about 6 months.
Okay, so Matt, where do you see interest rates going 10, 20 years from now? And like, where do you, like if someone's trying to get into the market, like what should they be thinking? Should they be expecting in the real estate market? I mean, I know 10, 20 years is kind of a long time in advance, but what are you thinking?
The first thing I'm thinking is really affordability, right? With higher interest rates starting in the last 2 years, they have to look at their budget. They have to break down their budget and see what they can truly afford. That's the first. It's very simple, right? From there, I think we were looking at this just the other day as the trend, right? Millennials have it the hardest. There's no doubt millennials right now have it the hardest because they've never experienced a high interest rate cycle. From 1984 to 2022, rates have trended down, right? In 2022, we broke that cycle. Now rates are trending up. The Federal Reserve has come out and said rates will be higher for longer, and the real estate and mortgage industry keep saying like, oh, when rates come down, this is the new normal, right? I truly believe between 5 and 7% is where rates will be for an extended period of time. Do I know it will be 10 years or 20? Don't know. But for the foreseeable future, until we have some sort of like black swan type event, like a pandemic, a war, a recession, something like that, which will change its course. Right now, rates are trended higher, right? We can't change that. So what can we do? We have to look at our income, we have to look at our expenses, and we have to see where real estate fits into our lifestyle. I think more people should be looking at starter homes, right? I know some of us, like, we shoot for the moon on our first property. We want the forever 30-year home like our parents had. That, to me, might not be a reality for everybody. Start small. Start with a condo, right? Work your way up to a townhouse, townhouse to a small single family, right? Like, work your way up. In the meantime, you're building experience as you go.
Yep.
So I think first-time home buyers might have to think a little bit smaller. And two, look at your income, right? Does this job afford me the lifestyle I want to live? If not, what are the skill sets I need to go out and obtain so I can get the job that I need for the lifestyle I want? So it's really taking a minute and like breaking down where you want to be, where you are, and then how to get there.
Okay. For me, I look at it this way too. It's like one of the biggest advices I can get to anyone as far as real estate, right? Property, whatever. It's like, get there soon. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of us don't really realize how like free you are, and not in, good way, bad way, whatever, just realistically speaking, with no kids, right? You're out of school, you got a job, you're having fun. You can live in like that little tiny bedroom in a house and rent out the rest of the home. You can live in like an ADU and rent out the entire house. Like, you have the best potential because you don't have that like, I got to be in the school district. I got to have all the kids need the rooms. I need space for them to run and play, all that kind of stuff. You don't have that kind of like that stuff on your plate. You can actually be very, very flexible. You can actually house hack. You can actually do things that are a little bit more creative now while you have the chance. So then when you get married, have kids, not like you have to, but if you do, go down that road, you have that house already. You've already started building your portfolio. You've already gone down that path of that. I mean, instead of starting late in life where you're like, yeah, I've been renting. Hey, the wife is pregnant. We're going to have our first kid. Now we got to jump in. And she wants that really awesome restoration hardware home that I've been seeing in Folsom, but I can probably get her something in like somewhere else. It's not there. And we got to start there and then build up. Start now. I mean, start as soon as you possibly can. Don't you think?
I do think that, especially if you are going for, again, if you're looking at your income and you have a salary job, right? Those are the most secure types of loans that we can help you get. We don't have to there's not much of an income calculation or qualifying calculation that we have to do as lenders, right? Your salary is your salary. That's what you get on a monthly basis. So yeah, starting small, right? Again, avoid the stress, right? And that's the cycle we're seeing a lot too, is the people who are moving right now, they're stressed, right? Things are costing more. And then they're pushing to areas that they've never been to before. They might not have any family support, right? And it's just creating this cycle where we've seen it too in the middle of a transaction where a client goes in gung-ho and then halfway through they say like, was this fee always here? Like, yeah, the fee was always there, right? Like, the closing costs haven't changed. Nothing's changed, right? Your perceptions changed because somewhere along the process you found out how much this is really going to cost you in the long run instead of doing your homework before that. So that window that you're talking about, I absolutely love. Before kids, right? Like after college, there's a window there that's optimal, I think, to get your finances in check, get your first property, start small, build as you go.
Now, here's the thing, guys. We're going to add a link down below in the description. If you want to jump on a call with Matt, he can break down properties for you, give you his his big insight on the Sacramento area, what he's been doing for a lot of clients, how he's been getting them into their first property, whether it's like a duplex, single family, or whatnot, how he's making it work for people through strategic financing and even just regular financing. He breaks down projects for realtors. He breaks down houses, rental comps, the whole 9 yards. And so if you're looking for something like that in Sacramento, maybe you're thinking Texas, maybe you're thinking Florida, and you're thinking, why not give Sacramento a shot? Jump on a call with Matt, guys. You will not be disappointed. Okay, back to the show. Okay, so California for me is like pretty much kind of like a hard spot. It's unaffordable, but Sacramento is, I think, the best bang for your buck in California. And I think we are actually on a nice growth spurt right now. I think we are on a big one. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, 2 years, the appreciation's crazy in Sacramento, but it's got nothing left. Prices are going to drop. Where I'm seeing it on the opposite, going like, I still love the idea that we're building new schools, building new communities, new businesses are coming in, commercial, we got medical, we got state jobs. I mean, I got more fingers than whatever, but we've got a lot of growth potential here. I see like Elk Grove is just going like gangbusters. Folsom Ranch, 30,000 new homes. Like, what do you think as far as Sacramento's potential, as far as making money here, or just even like getting a home here and seeing that appreciation?
I'm in shock with how much opportunity there is, right? Like you look out now, doesn't matter what freeway, 80, 50, you're just seeing grading and building going on. And then at the same thing is the different types of architecture at the price points. I mean, I saw a duplex in the pocket today for under 700,000, right? You've got properties in Citrus Heights. I'm seeing duplexes in North Highlands, Hollywood Park, like all these older neighborhoods. They're going to be up and coming. Also, because look at the supply. They're not building homes with that type of character anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So that demand to me will always be there because people have like an affinity for these types of properties. New construction, yeah, great. But also new construction, some of it's kind of unaffordable to the masses.
Yep.
To the masses, right? So I'm talking about like older neighborhoods, smaller homes. I think there's a lot of demand there, and I think there's a ton of opportunity, definitely in the future.
Well, the other thing too, this is so funny. Like, a lot of people from the Bay Area will move up, and we'll show them some stuff, some areas, and they'll see like Folsom High, and they'll see like this, and be like, "Oh my God, what is that?" Like the schools they're building here in Sacramento are just phenomenal. I mean, they're like little junior colleges out there too. I mean. Mm-hmm. The infrastructure is, I guess, what I'm so happy about. Like the new roads coming in. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt right now in the 50, but like the infrastructure, the building, like we're setting the stage for more growth in this area. We got employers like Apple, we got Intel, we got like Amazon, we got Oracle even, we got all these shops coming in. Then we got the medical, we got Dignity, we got Sutter, we got like Kaiser's on every street corner. I mean, medical's big. And then of course the big one, right? What makes Sacramento great? For me, the job market, state jobs, man. We're the state capital. So that adds such an idea of like, if we're going into a recession, if economic times are harder, I have a lot of friends, I'm sure you do too, that work at the state or, have a state job. They're not sweating it. They weren't sweating it during COVID. And I just talked to my friend Brett about 3 hours ago, and he's like, I got 4 different job offers. I don't know which one I'm going to choose and everything too. So I like Sacramento's chances,
Yeah, I actually did. It's so funny you mentioned that. I actually went to college to get my real estate license, so I took the long route. It took me 6 months, I think, to obtain it. And one of them I had to write a paper on, which was about state capitals with colleges are almost recession-proof because so much government funding goes into those neighborhoods, right? And specifically with Sac State being there, Sierra College, plus Capital and all the state jobs. I'm not going to say it's completely recession-proof, but there's a lot of funding going on that are going to keep people afloat if times do get hard. And again, Kaiser, I think they're on plans for like a $300 million new facility in Sacramento. I mean, again, that's a lot of jobs. Right? There's a ton of opportunity coming.
Well, yeah, and like you said, there's no guarantee that, hey, everything's fantastic, whatever. But it's about hedging your bets, right? It's about knowing something that no one else does, coming out here and experiencing Sacramento. For you work with a lot of people. We're getting duplexes, jumping into the market. Like before we wind up today's show, and the next show we'll do, I'm gonna challenge you to talk a little bit about if a person coming out of college should be buying a single family home and renting the rooms out, or a duplex. Which one makes the most sense? So we're going to go duplex versus single family home in the next video we do. But as far as like Sacramento, like, what are the people that are reaching out to you? What is like, if a week in the life of Matt Barba, what are we looking at as far as like, what are the people, what are the calls? Who are the people that are interested in Sacramento?
It's a lot of first-time home buyers right now, right? It's a lot of first-time home buyers and a lot of people relocating to the other area. I have a client right now from Florida relocating, which is odd. Most people are going to Florida. They're actually coming here for family, to be closer to family, and for job opportunities, right? There's higher paying jobs here than in Florida. They're moving up to Lincoln. They want more space, right? They went from a townhouse in Florida, and now they have like a little mini ranch. A lot of people are calling for acreage, right? Half-acre lots to 5-acre lots. There's a lot of opportunities here for that as well. First-time home buyers needing down payment assistance. That's pretty big, right? It is hard to afford California lifestyle and property, so we're doing a lot of down payment assistance calls right now. There's some grants out there that are great, completely forgivable on the day you close, right? That's a huge opportunity for a lot of home buyers. So, and then again, the person who they hate their house, right? But they don't want to give it up because the mortgage is so low. And so a lot of it's that is, how do I convert my home into a rental property and go buy something else, right? So sometimes we have to look at taking out a home equity line of credit for the down payment. Sometimes they're pulling from their 401k. They might be borrowing it from their stocks, right? Doing bridge loans. We got 2 calls on that yesterday. Like, how do I buy first, then sell, right? So these are all, it's definitely different than, the mortgage industry is definitely different than it was 4 years ago where everyone was trying to get in. Now it's a lot more strategy, planning, tactics on that next move.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely strategic right now too. Like I tell people all the time, like my dad, he had his 401k, he had his pension. I think for us, if done correctly, creating a real estate portfolio is that for us. I think if you do it correctly, that can give you a little bit of a peace of mind. And I know a lot of people are saying like, oh no, high yield savings account and everything too, but I like real estate because it's tangible. It's something that people generations upon generations have been building wealth with. And if you do it correctly, I think you can make a lot of money. I know a lot of people in Sacramento who have been cashing in left and right, certain areas and everything too. Like I said, I've told a lot of people on the site too, a lot on the YouTube channel have been reaching out going, hey, focus more on first-time home buyers, affordability. How are ways for us to get into the market? This is what Matt and I will be focusing on just for you guys. We'll be talking a little bit about affordability, getting into the market, investment strategies, and how you can build that portfolio that so maybe one day, cross your fingers, you might be able to retire. Matt, any parting words for everyone?
Just take the minute to do like a self-assessment, right? If you really want to get into the market, there's ways to do it. It just might be, you just have to be flexible, right? So my parting word, just take a minute, do a little self-assessment, connect with someone who's already been there, connect with us, right? A discovery call is free, takes 15 minutes. Tell us what you want to do, when you want to do it, and let us give you the roadmap.
All right, guys, remember, Zoom, link below. Get on a call with Matt. It'll change your life. And for you people sitting on their couch saying to yourself, maybe I can't buy. I've heard people talking about investing. I've heard people like getting wealthy in investing in Sacramento or even just buying some homes to help them a little bit with residual income and all that stuff. Well, these videos are just for you, and we're going to bring you more just like this one in future weeks on this channel. Like, subscribe, guys, comment. We want your questions. We want your ideas on different type of videos we can do with Matt. Till next time, this is Mark and Matt.